is the man who is leading the World Championship, American Eddie Lawson, on his 4-cylinder Yamaha, coming into the pits. He's come in to make adjustments to the machine, which he has been doing this morning and yesterday, adjusting the spring rates, adjusting the shock absorbers, testing out different tyres and tyre pressures, all those little things that can make so much difference to his lap speed. And at the present moment, Eddie Lawson, who very much wants to win this British Grand Prix tomorrow in order to get a stranglehold on the World Championship, is in 3rd position on the grid, because still fastest, and I'll tell you why in a moment, is the Australian rider Wayne Gardner, fresh from his triumph at Suzuka in Japan in the 8-hour race, and his time was 1 minute 28.16, which is just inside Kenny Roberts' all-time lap record of 1 minute 28.2. And there is what, in my opinion, is the prettiest machine on the course. Number 5, it is the French Elf machine, ridden by the British rider Ron Haslam, a world champion in the Formula 3 and Formula 1 classes, an ex-works rider for Honda. And this is an absolutely unique machine. Look at the front wheel, and you will see that it is supported on only one side, and the same thing applies to the rear wheel. It has a trick suspension front and rear. They've been working on this machine very hard for a very long time. It is powered by a 3-cylinder Honda 2-stroke engine, which pushes out about 140 horsepower. And now you get a look at the distinctive lines of that very, very pretty bike. Haslam into the pits then, and with about 7 minutes left in the practice period, it is Wayne Gardner on pole position. And the reason, incidentally, that the times are down quite a lot, at least 2 seconds for the fastest men today, is that there is a very high wind blowing, about 40 miles an hour, and it's blowing straight at them as they go down the Hangar Straight and across them as they go round other parts of the course. So it is both slowing the machines down on the straight and causing handling problems on other parts of the circuit. There's Eddie Lawson, the quiet American, world champion in 1984, beaten to the World Championship by his fellow American Freddie Spencer, who is not riding in the World Championship this year, or has ridden in only 2 races to be exact, because he's injured his wrist. And now Eddie Lawson, with 5 victories this year and 2 second places, is leading the World Championship with 99 points, 13 points ahead of his countryman Randy Mamola, who, like Lawson, rides a Yamaha. There on the left in the white sweater, the legendary Giacomo Agostini, who has won more motorcycle world championships than anyone else in the history of the sport. He's won 15 of them on his 350 and 500cc MV machines, and is now the team manager for Team Agostini, and he runs the Works Yamahas, one of which is ridden by Eddie Lawson and the other by the British rider Rob McElhenney. And Rob McElhenney, as I talk to you, is in 6th position on the grid off his Yamaha. There is Rob McElhenney, and I'm glad to tell you that Mamola is okay. I think he's hurt his wrist a bit, jarred his wrist, but I know of no reason as I talk to you why he shouldn't be riding tomorrow. So it's Gardner pole position on the Honda, Mamola second on the Yamaha. The man who's leading the World Championship, Eddie Lawson, in 3rd position. 4th is the French rider, C.Sarron, on another Yamaha. 5th, yet another American, the 3rd in the top 5, Mike Baldwin on a Yamaha. Then the man that you're looking at now, Rob McElhenney, on the 2nd of the 2 Team Agostini Yamahas. Raymond Roche, the Frenchman, ex-endurance world champion, 7th on a 4-cylinder Honda, and in 8th position, and this is a superb performance, Britain's own Roger Burnett, the man who has already this year won the Transnational 1300cc Championship, won the Senior TT, and now we're looking at Ron Haslam, who's made some adjustments to the Elf Honda and is back trying to improve on his lap time. Or rather, I think to be strictly accurate, he's probably just making sure that everything is settled down nicely, because on account of this wind, there is little chance of him improving. Now, let's go round with him. He's on his way down now to Copse Corner. That's a third gear corner at about 110 miles an hour. Straighten it up a bit. Fourth gear, 140 miles an hour. Building up to nearly 160 miles an hour to the sixth gear left-hander of Maggots. Now down through the box to fifth, to fourth, to third, to second. 75 miles an hour. Beckett's Corner. Now towards the curve at Chapel in fourth gear. Duck down behind the fairing, get it up into fifth at about 160. Yes, I did say 160 miles an hour. Down the hanger straight, 175 miles an hour. Change down, up from behind the fairing into Stowe Corner, fourth gear, 125 miles an hour. Ron Haslam riding the three-cylinder Elf Honda. He's finished sixth in Holland this year. He's ninth in the World Championship with 12 points. Now he's round Club Corner at 120 miles an hour, building up towards the fastest part of the course to Abbey Curve, the left-hander, at 160 miles an hour, keeps it turned on, still in sixth gear, 175 miles an hour, underneath the bridge into Woodcote, which does not have a chicane for the motorcycles. And Ron Haslam has just gone round in about 1 minute and 30 seconds, which is a speed of about 116 miles an hour. And it's still Gardner in pole position, Mamela second, Lawson third, C.Sarron fourth, Baldwin fifth, McKelney, the British rider, and the top British rider on the grid in sixth place. Ron Haslam. You notice this unique suspension system I was talking about. There you see the seemingly unsupported front wheel, and this section here, the bit from Maggots into Beckett's and now round Chapel Curve and into Stowe, enables you to see how the rider adjusts his weight on the machine. Sees knee go out, he gets his weight right over to the right of the bike on the right-hander. Now he'll get halfway back on the machine because the right-hander at Club is coming up now, and he's taking that at about 120 miles an hour, almost on the sidewalls of his slick tyres, because it's dry now. There's been not a hint of rain, thank heavens. There was some overnight and a little yesterday, but the wind and the sun took care of that a long time ago, and you can even see a bit of heat haze as Ron Haslam comes over the crest, down into Woodcote again to complete another lap. Not many riders out on the course at the moment because we're almost at the end of the session. Just about another 60 seconds or so to go into this fourth and final session. And let's celebrate it then by looking at Eddie Lawson, 27 years old, from Upland in California, the protege of the great three times world champion Kenny Roberts. 20 years experience, and that means he actually started racing in America at 7 years old. I couldn't believe this, but I had dinner with Eddie Lawson last night, and he confirmed that that is the case. And there are the two Agostini team Yamahas together. This one, Lawson, ahead of him on the other identical red bike, the burly, very strong and tough 26-year-old Rob McKelney from Brigg on Humberside, in his first season on a machine that is actually capable of winning a Grand Prix. Into the pits, I think, yes. And over the line as McKelney goes into the pits, goes Eddie Lawson down into Copse Corner, and following him, the big Belgian, Didier de Radigue, who comes from Brussels, an X250cc rider. And I've just been taking a check on Ron Haslam's time. He's just gone round in 1 minute 32.3, compared with his fastest time yesterday of 1 minute 32. So Haslam is going a lot quicker in comparison with his previous times than most of the others are. And I confirm that subject to official confirmation, because we don't actually enjoy the luxury of the instant readout of practice times on a television monitor that you get in the car Grand Prix. So we're having to do a bit of our own timing as well as looking at the updating on the screens. But it's still Wayne Gardner in pole position as Lawson and Duradigue, who are respectively on 4-cylinder Yamaha and 3-cylinder Honda machines, followed by the Frenchman Raymond Roche on the 4-cylinder Honda. And the checkered flag